Whew, got that close. Let's welcome everybody. Doing some prepping for Starfinder today. Thus the drafting background and such. I'm going to switch the camera view. Not the camera view, there we go, monitor view. And let's go ahead and pump this up a little bit. So change the overall scale so you can read a little bit better. Close the combat tracker by pressing the X. And then we're going to go to right click here in the chat box anywhere. Go to Window, Unlock Position. Go to Window, Reset. What that does is it bumps it up to where you can see it now. And type within the box / scale UI 110 is what I'm going to change it to. So boom, everything is bigger, be easier read by you guys as we mess around and do stuff today. So I don't stream this actual this particular campaign that we're talking about right now. I have streamed it before, and I'm going to stream it again. But this particular version is for a very select crew of 4 people who we play once a month on Thursday nights. We're going to be shifting gears from this campaign to a different campaign. But for now, they are doing the very first Starfinder campaign, Dead Sons, the best role-playing adventure I have ever done in any setting. Let me check my sound, make sure I can be heard. Excellent. Now we're going to go to turn on my sounds just in case. That's part of the fun, in my opinion, is using Sirenscape. It is a paid thing, but for me, I think it is worth it. So let's go ahead and do make sure it's working. Cool. All right, so the reason we're doing some prep today is because they're at a point where they're going to be going to a asteroid, and so they're going to be doing some starship combat tonight. I just want to make sure I have everything ready for that. So let's go ahead and these are some of the sounds that I had out that I wanted to have open when we start, because they're starting in the ambassador's office. So I'm going to have those, keep those open. So what I did is I minimized them here like this, minimize. And when you do that, it then puts them in a bubble. When you move that bubble anywhere you want, and when you reopen it, it goes right back where you had it set before. So it is nice. We'll do the same thing with this soundboard. I don't need the soundboard right now, so we'll minimize that as well. Now, let's go to our story. We've got index. So they might not even get to the combat tonight because there's some role playing involved. So we have the image of Grevelask Nor, who is the ambassador for Eox, and they're going to be talking to him. He's going to tell them they have a job to go research this ship that returned, dropped out of the drift, which is like hyperspace, but with no crew. And so their job is to go find out what's going on this ship, because there's a legal battle over custody of the ship and the rights to the ship, and this Yoxian has been given the task to mediate and find out, determine who to whom it belongs legally, and so um, they are. He in turn tasks the players to go find out what's going on in the ship. As soon as that happens, they get tasked. They get contacted for meetings. So I'm going to go and I want to make pictures for these guys. So Miss Joss is a person that works for the Astral Extractions. And I want to, but they are a Lashunta. So first of all, when I personally, I like to check the interwebs to see. So we're going to do Joss Starfinder. Images. Nope. Didn't think there would be. It is a very minor character who interacts with the players maybe twice, once typically, maybe twice if something weird happens. But it helps if you spell correctly. Just a little hint there for those who are trying to use other things. Draw Miss Jaws, a Lashunta business executive. Just gonna leave it like that. I use AI Copilot a bunch, so it should know that I'm referring to the Starfinder universe. So we will see while this is doing this, rendering Miss Joss and all her corporate brilliance. We can find the second one. Hardscrabble Collective. Hotel Ceresi. Red-skinned human from Akaton. Okay. Captain Ceresi. So let's go to same thing. We will do the same concept. Go to the interwebs. Is that how you spell it? It is Serissi. Serissi. Correct. Starfinder. All right. Just looking to see if anybody did fanfics or fan pics and anything. Anybody drew it? Nope. All right. So now let's go see what our AI has done with our exec, Miss Joss. Okay, nice. I like the touch of the name bracket. The Shunta don't typically have green skin, so let's we're going to go ahead and so we're going to say lighter, comma, almost tan, skin. So this is a good starting off point. I could just use this. You just click download, and you'll see that in just a moment as I get ready. You can also change the background, but I'm not real worried about that. I don't like all the wood in the background, so if they redraws it with a wood background, I'm going to change it to a more modern, like a metallic office that she's in. All right, so we'll give that a moment while we look at Captain Ceresi. Ceresi is a... let me just make sure. Go to my images. I'm not going crazy here. Now I'm starting to doubt myself. Yeah, see, they are not. There you go. They're not green skinned. All right, so we're gonna unlock this. Boom. All right, so it is redrawing it with the wood background. Add a little space for the image for her. And then here we have the Hardscrabble Collective. They're going to ask, is the red-skinned human from Akaton? Alright, so once the PCs have had the chance to hear both factions out, what do you mean he couldn't? Now it says it can't do it. It was drawing it just fine. I saw. That's weird. Alright, let's try this again. Once the PCs talk to both factions and hear them both, they decide they have to go out. They get ready to leave. Gavalos Nor has procured a ship called the Hippocampus. It's a normal shuttle that ferries passengers back and forth between Absalom Station and the ships in the Armada. Absalom Station itself, while massive, does not have the means to house and dock every ship that comes, especially some of the larger ones. So there's this Armada, this ring of ships beyond the Absalom Station. And just like you would in a port, some of the larger ships, the cruise ships or the big freighters and things, don't come all the way to the port. And so they send these little dinghies. In this case, Starfinder, you're talking about shuttles that go back and forth. All right. And our picture is coming together. This is what it started with. And I had her change the color of the skin and make the background more modern. So to get in there. And so as they're doing that, they get attacked. So here's a picture. Cool ship that's attacking the hippocampus with the Absalom station in the background. That's awesome. I like it. I like it. All right, so I right-clicked here on my hot key, and I mean my the slot. Yeah, hotkey. I was right. You can have, you start off with 12. If you hold shift, you have another 12. Alt another 12. Control another 12. Alt control. Alt shift. Control alt shift. So all of those give you all these different options of different hotkeys. I had the last session's notes down in number 8, cleared it out. Now I'm going to drop this interceptor attack down here. Click. Actually, you know, I'm going to clear that out so I can just, last time I cleared it out by right clicking and then clear slot. Atomic Hero Squad. Welcome, sir. Today is my 4-year anniversary. Appreciate you stopping by. Atomic Hero Squad finished the Mario RPG today and was doing some Mario All-Stars afterwards on his actual NES. So be retiring it for a little while at least. Go check that out on the Twitches. Appreciate you stopping by, sir. So once I cleared out the last time, this time I'm just going to, I actually want to put this factional influence down there. So I'm going to drag it and then just drop it. Boom. So now it's replaced. You don't have to clear it first. Still leaving this here. What is this for? Alright, I don't know why I have the critical hit and the fumble tables. I shouldn't need those. So I'm going to clear them. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up. Let's check and make sure it's available right here in my tables. Type fumble. Let's get ready to fumble. It's right there. So if I need it, I can just find it again. I don't know why it's here. These 12 slots on my main screen are premium real estate. I don't want anything else besides those on there. So, I mean, besides, you know, I want the most important ones I'm going to be using a lot on here. So, I want to keep it clear. All right, so soundboard, Absalom Station, I'm going to close that because it's right here. And to activate something in your hotkey, you can just hit, so like F1, F2, F3. So in this case, F1. Boom, I've got my Absalom Station thing back. Or you can just click it. So like here, click. Here's message of the day. All right, so we have the invite that I used. I made for them. You can lock it. You don't need it. All right, and then I'm going to take this. So this is so what you do now was, now that we have our image for one of the contacts, download it. and then open up the folder that it's in. I always drop them into downloads because a lot of times I have to mess with them, um, edit them, and do things, so it's easier to have them in downloads to start off with. Change the name. This is Ms. Jaws. She is a Lashunta. Female. And now I'm going to Control X, which deletes it from my downloads. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. And then we go to Fantasy Grounds. So within Fantasy Grounds, you have a couple choices. I don't need this picture because it has her name specifically. Um, it makes it campaign specific. So I'm just going to go to campaigns. I will need it in AARPG, SFRPG, images, Control V, because I Control X'd it. So there it is, boom. And then the other one I want it in is my alternate Thursdays, images. You'll notice that there's a lot of the same images, but it's the same campaign. I didn't like that. All right, let me try it again. Go back to Control C, campaigns, the one for tonight. There she is. Okay. Now I'm just going to minimize this. And now we're going to shift gears and do our I draw a male human with red skin, captain of a mining freighter from the planet Akaton. And his name is Cesari. All right, so we'll see how this works. Amid the red sands of Akaton, I didn't say that, but we'll see. I might have him on the bridge of his ship. We'll see. We can delete these. Get back to work while that's cooking. This is our group, by the way. This person here is the race shares a body. So there's two souls that sharing the same body. So every 24 hours they switch. So they're two different classes. And so it makes it a minor challenge for me and the player to maintain two character sheets and stuff. But the equipment and the gear are all the same on both. As he uses one, he uses a grenade from one, it should be coming away from the other and stuff like that. But interesting dynamic and an interesting crew. We have a plant person who cannot see. And then we have a mushroom guy who's made out of a colony of mushrooms. A rock person that glows all the time. They have an inner light. They can suppress it a little bit, but they can also make it shine brighter. And an android that I chose to make a very outdated, older android version. Anyway, that's our crew. And so, yeah, we're going. So now we're at interceptor attack. We're checking out to see Ceresi. I spelled his name wrong. All right, so this is what it looks like. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Pretty good. I want to change the name. Serissi. All right, so change his name to Captain Ceresi. Show him with a laser pistol at his belt. Again, this will work because there have been times where I've been okay. This is okay, but change this, and all of a sudden, it's like nowhere near what I wanted it to be. So this is always a good last resort. Even with the wrong name, minor detail. All right, so getting back to our story, we have the interceptor attack. All right, so here's this map they gave us. It's just a simple space map with hexes. Starship combat does take place using hexes. I always prefer hexes anyway, but most people are not like me. They don't like the. I like the wider variety of movement, more fluid movement, turning and twisting. The range is better as you're moving diagonally. It doesn't mess things up like your normal grids do. So I prefer hexes. One of these years, I'll become king and change most RPGs to hexes. But till then, we'll stick with this. So we've got the interceptor. See, have a picture. It does not. We have the picture of the combat. I'm not really worried about it. Here's our ship, the Hippocampus. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and weapons. We've got light laser cannon and a coil gun on the turret. Excellent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the crew into a ship. So to do that, you go ship combat tracker up in the top right. And then you drag the ships. So the hippocampus and the stiletto. And now, I believe, I don't remember the exact steps, so let's figure this out. We go here, ships. Ship, can I do it like this? Do I do it like this? I don't remember. Let's see. PC ships, NPCs. Yeah, I slept and eaten since I've done this, so give me just a minute, guys. I'll figure it out here. We'll go ahead and put these all the way out so you guys can see what your options are over here. There it is, PC chips. Okay, Hippocampus is there. Okay, so I gotta figure out. I gotta remember how to do this. Open it. I drag it from here. Clip, clip, clip. Oh, combat tracker. I mean, my party sheet. That's what it is. There it is. Ships. That's where I did. Drop PC ships here to add ships to the fleet. So boom, boom. Now it's here. So now we can then add the crew to it. So we go Asherin, 82, Starfall, Myconix, Swampfire. Fleet. All right, so there's our 5 people. So now that they're on the party sheet under this ship, you'll see now there are in the character sheet for the character under ships, they can now click here and click the role that they want. Asherin is probably going to be the pilot, if I remember right. You can go to the party sheet, go to skills. You can see, so piloting, yeah, plus 10. Companion 82 is plus 7, plus 1, plus 3, minus 1. So, yeah, the Swampfire can't see anything. So, definitely don't want him being a pilot. But let's see, he is good. He's not good at computers or engineering. Mysticism. So Swampfire would be the magic officer. And the cool thing is, it shows everything that they can do here. You want to know what Eldritch Shot is? You hover over it. Choose one weapon on your ship to augment it and attempt a mysticism check. If you succeed, the gunner treats the range of the weapon as 5 hexes longer than normal. Precognition. You grant the pilot a +2 circumstance to their piloting check at the beginning of the helm phase to determine piloting order or initiative. So, let's say he wants to do that. All he does is just click that. Boom. And it shows you in the chat whether or not it was a success. So he rolled a 16. He needed for his DC 11 success. So it's nice. It makes it really nice. Makes life really easy for them as they get into starship combat. All right, so we close that. That's all done. So they are all set up and ready to go. Closing this. Closing these. Closing these. Closing him. All right, let's take a look at the Stiletto, the bad guys. They have a gyro laser and a light EMP cannon. That's cool. All right. I don't remember what the EMP cannon does, so let's find out. We can go here to items. It's a ship item, actually. So, ship item. EMP. Special property EMP. All right. I'm surprised it doesn't have more information than that. So you can look it up in a book. So let's stick with Fantasy Grounds. If you want, I have all the hard copies of the books, of some of the books. But you just go here to books. You go to, there's a couple different places it would be. It would be under the core rule book. It would also be in it might be in the ship manual. But for now, we're going to go down here. Starships. All right, and we're going to go to weapons. All right. Range. Weapons have one of three ranges: short, which is 5, medium, which is 10, or long, which is 20. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to take this and pop this out. Okay. I want to copy it. I want to. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I was looking for this. Starship weapons. I'm going to go ahead and pop this out. Poof. And now I'm going to go to my. I have action types, conditions, character advancement. I think I'm going to put Control Alt for Starship stuff. So we're going to have Starship weapons. Go over here to 10. And we're going to put some of the actions and things you can do as well down here for my players. What we're looking for now is EMP. A weapon with this special property emits a beam of electromagnetic energy. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and open this. Oh, it's read only. All right, so we're going to close. We're going to close this. Close this. Notes. Unlock. EMP. All right, so real quick, I'm going to copy this. What that does. What did it do with the copy? All right, I don't know what it did with the copy, so never mind. I was just trying to get it where I could not have to type this out. So it says on a hit, an EMP weapon scrambles one of the target starship systems determined randomly. This causes that system to act as if it had the glitching condition for 1d4 rounds. If the system is already damaged, instead increases its critical damage by 1 level of severity. Whenever an EMP weapon scores a critical hit, it scrambles 2 systems. Nice. Shields are unaffected by EMP weapons and block EMP weapons effects. Functioning shields completely block an EMP weapon's effects. So we have to get through the shields first. So we're going to, if you go here, we're going to go to Control 2. That makes it a heading. We're going to here it is. All right, so I was able to find this on, what I did was I went here, EMP weapon, Starfinder, Starship weapon, Starfinder. Pulled up this. I followed the link to Archives of Nethys. So that all I have to do is go bloop. Got back. Paste. All right, so now I have this in the notes of the ship itself. So I do want to make sure that I see this. So we will do Control I. Functioning shields are unaffected and completely block a EMP weapons effects. Control I. Oops. Control Z. Control I. There we go. All right. Helps if you hit Control I and not just type I. All right. So here's just a little. Okay. So those are the two weapons it has. Once it knocks out their shield, they can then use the EMP cannon. All right. So Clara 247. She's the pilot, and she will show up later. All right, so once they defeat her, we have the ship, we have the hippocampus, the two ships. We're going to go ahead and put them in on the map. On the hippocampus. All right, so does it say? So we'll close the starship weapons. We don't need that anymore. Starship tracker. We'll go ahead and close this because we don't need this anymore. All right, I'm just looking to see if it says how far away it starts. Okay, generic map has been provided. Place the hammer at the bottom of the map pointing towards the opposite edge. 3d6 plus 5 determine how many hexes lie between the stiletto and the hippocampus. Alright, so we'll do what it says. Why not, man? Let's do what it says. Click. So we put a modifier of. So click this. It says adjusting. Put 5. Left click to pick up the dice. Right click. 1, 2. So you get 3d6. You can also right click on the thing and say roll 3. All right, so that is 13 plus 5 is 18. So they are 18 hexes away. I'm going to go ahead and change my dice color, by the way, because I can. That's cool. Feymart Unsili. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. I like it. All right, so we're going to 18 square hexes away. 1, 6, 13. They're 18 away. All right, boom. So if we click and left and right click, we're going to go to the grid, unlock it right here where it says locked. Go to grid. Distance multiplier is 1. Back to play mode. Lock it again. $17. All right, so we need to go one more. 18 from there to there. 18. I also like to put the pointers on this, so we go to options. We go to token. and we go to facing indicator on. Normally I don't have it on, but you see it then puts an arrow on, so it shows where they are. You hold down shift, use the mouse wheel, and it rotates the arrow. So that shows how they're facing. There we go. All right, so this is how we're gonna start. And if you need to, you can just add another layer like this, or you can change the size of the grid as well, make them smaller, and then just zoom in more. You can also just slide the ships over, and then they can keep going because this is space. There is no edge of the map. So now there are some scenarios and things where it'll say if they reach the edge of the map in this space battle, this happens, and that's their goal. But in this case, it's not. So, all right, let's get rid of the toolbar. Oof, there we go. All right, I'm also going to lower. Open that up, unlock it, go to the grid. I'm going to click on tint and lower the opacity a little bit more. Okay. I can always turn it back up, but I just prefer having a little bit more view of the sky. I could throw optimization on here. I could use the different images and things for to change things up, but I don't. I like this. I'm not for their first Starship battle. Not going to worry about it right now. All right, I do want to check and remind myself how the scanning works in the ships. So let's again, I have the core rulebook in my right here, Starfinder core rulebook. I'm actually just going to go to where I had control my starship weapons, because that open up storybook brings me to the weapons, the weapons. I mean the starship area. Now I'm looking at starship combat, and I'm looking for the actions. Crew actions. Here we go. So there are other actions they can do as well from the new Starship book. But for now, I just want to read this part here. This is the engineer actions. I don't want engineer, I want science officer. So the engineer can divert power. That's a lot of things that they want to do. If we send it to the engines, the starship speed increases by 2, or you can do it as science equipment. So all science officers will receive +2 to their actions. If you send it to the weapons, any 1 that you roll is a 2. So that's a good thing that the engineers do divert. Gunners shoot. Pilot. Normally the pilot doesn't need to do anything. Move your starship up to its speed. However, they can try to turn faster. They can try to do a special stunt. Which we'll get into later. But stunts are like reducing the armor class of your ship. I mean, increasing the armor class of your ship, making it harder to hit, things like that. Doing a special turnaround move, things like that. You normally need to do that, but Cool thing is, all of this stuff. So she's the pilot, remember, Ashrin? It's all right here. Evade. The ship moves up to its speed and can turn as normal, but gets +2 bonus to its armor class. And if she wants to do that, she just rolls. Click. And it tells you she got a 19. That's versus, so a total of 29 versus 11. So that's a success. All right. So it makes it really nice. I just want to remind myself here of how the science officer actions work. So with a scan, you scan a starship with your sensors to learn information about it. Computers check, and then for each one, difficulty is 5 plus 1.5 times the tier of the starship being scanned. And it has a bonus versus countermeasures. And then for every 5 above that roll, you get basic information, then defenses, weapons, loads, and other information. So you can also have science officer can also target a system. So if it gets a critical, it scores on. If you roll a 19 or 20, it's a critical, and if it does critical damage, it affects that system, not randomly. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so that's that. Now I just need to learn the range of their scanners. So open up their ship. So this way it'll all be fresh in my mind. I'll know what's going on. Here's the main thing. They have medium range, basic medium range scanners. So you open it up, boom, tells you what it does. Short range have 5, medium range sensors have a range of 10 hexes. So they are at 18 hexes, so they can't scan anything. They don't know anything about this ship. In passive mode, sensors automatically scan the ship's surroundings. Passive sensors detect visible or unhidden objects in a 360 field around the ship at a range of up to twice the sensor's range category while in space. No check required. So, that's what I was looking for. So, active sensors can discern information about a target up to 5 times the sensor's range away from the ship, but such checks take a bounty of -2 for each range increment beyond the first target. For example, short-range sensors have a range of 5. If they were used against a target 12 hexes away, it would be a -4, because up to 10 and then up to 15. Cool. Outside of combat, a crew member can use sensors to scan a planet. Okay, cool. So that is good information to know. It's right there in their thing on their ship. The other thing I need to do is change their armor class. What's up? So they have a tri-node computer, which means they have +1 3 times. Starship vehicle to have. Each node grants its bonus to 1 starship combat check per round. Multiple nodes allow them to influence multiple starship combat checks in a round, but not allow a multiple computer to add multiple bonuses to the same check. Okay. Yep. All right, so this is all stuff I knew. I'm just reiterating it in my mind, having it fresh. It's been a minute since I've done Starship Combat. People are very intimidated by Starship Combat. I have found it's easy to do Starship Combat wrong or to get lost in the weeds. Fantasy Grounds makes it much easier, much faster. to do Starship Combat, and so I have pushed Starship Combat onto my players, and now my um, unlike other people I've seen and heard who hate Starship Combat and dread it, and don't want to do it, takes too long. It's bad for the podcast. It's bad for this. My players don't mind it, and my players are pretty good at it, and are quick and fast. Um, a lot of it has to do with Fancy Grounds aiding and abetting with us. All right, so let's get. Where is the armor class and hit point? Here it is, AC. All right, so the pilot. All right, so we need to add the piloting check. Unlock. So the way it works is the pilot adds their ranks, not their total, but their ranks in piloting. So she has 2 ranks in piloting. So it's plus. Open it up and add 2. Why isn't it letting me do it? TL should also be 2. Okay. It is unlocked. Alright, so let's see, argument's sake. The armor class is 14, TL's 14. Any check is +1 3 times. Nice, nice, okay. That's cool. Alright, I'm not sure why that's there, because it's not like you can roll it. But, okay. I'm going to go back to any check. Okay, let's try it again. Down, slow it down. There you go. Okay, modifiers +4, +2. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to open up the ship combat tracker. Tell them it's the Stiletto's turn. The crew is going to be the gunner. He's firing the guy. First of all, we need to target. Drag onto a new target. Boom, they've got the hippocampus targeted. By the way, I'm going to do the same thing with this guys. They are going to. So they're targeting each other, which just makes sense. So he's doing the normal shoot. The arc he's shooting at is the forward arc. So they should have a 16 armor class. Because he is listed as the pilot, correct? Pilot. All right. So I don't know that that's correct. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and go to my options over here. Go to manual dice entry on. And do that again. The die roll. I don't know what his bonus is. It looks like a 0. And that's also incorrect because the Stiletto has a crew. I'll have to check that out and fix that later. Anyway, so we're just going to say they roll a 15. So that should be a miss. Attack at the hippocampus, that's a hit. So yeah, so it's showing up incorrectly. Do I have the means to, let's see, offense? Oh, it has the crew. Pilot, she's the pilot. Pilot, okay. Snapshot attack. Didn't like that, okay. Yeah, so I'll switch over to the gunner when she does her stuff. But she has that's funny. 240 D20 minus 247 because that's her name minus 220. But anyway, I'm just messing around. Ignore what I'm doing. So I'm checking to see. 14, 14. Okay. But if so she is, I can't change where she is located. She should be able to do the snapshot, but it's not letting her do that. She doesn't have the attack mod anywhere listed. So that part of it is broken, but if I go to gunner, it also doesn't have the bonus. Am I able to change it? Snapshot. See, it doesn't have one. No, I can't type into it. Yeah, it doesn't have. Okay, but I can do it down here. I'll just add the modifier. Figure out what her Clara's bonus is. So we're going to turn this off. Manual entry is off. I'm going to have to, since I can't adjust it here, anytime she attacks them, she's going to have a -2. So let's go to NPCs, campaign, NPCs. Come to Clara. Her skills. Piloting is 13. She's a CR what? 2. Okay. Her dex is +4. Piloting is based on dex. So that means she has 3 ranks in piloting, correct? I'm opening up the stiletto. Oh, that just shows you where it is. Here it is. Speed 12, AC 17, 17. Yeah. Yeah. Here it is. Piloting +14, 2 ranks. Okay. It was listed in the ship itself. So she has 2 ranks. So it's actually just going to even out. Because her +2 ranks, when she shoots, this is not adding anything. It's not adding the +2 that she should be getting for her attack, because her base attack bonus is what it's based off. And her base attack bonus, look at the her 6, yeah. So it's not adding her attack bonus to the weapons on a ship. It's also not adding the armor class, but they're the same. So we are good to go with that. Okay, so now I've saved myself the trouble of looking all that information up. Next time, we're going to go menu. Clear initiatives, boom. Close combat ship tracker. Close this. So now we're ready for this fight. It says if their hippocampus reduces 0 fewer hit points, they lose the battle, but the shuttle is disabled. They can still limp the rest of the way to the Acreon. Even if it's destroyed, the PCs can use the shuttle's lifeboats to escape the wreck and reach the Acreon. Whether they win or lose, they will meet Clara again. The PCs win. Happy affiliate anniversary, Spencer. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, man. 4 years today. September 11, 2021 is when I started. So, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You've been around here for almost all of that. Let's see. Yep. So 5 years. So you've been one. You joined in the first month. Yep. You joined in the first month since I. Yeah. Oh, affiliate. Okay, never mind. I became an affiliate in 21. But I've been streaming for about for longer than that. Okay, I understand now. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. All right. So, like it says, if the characters win the battle, they continue on their way. They will disable the stiletto, and the ship will crash land onto the drift rock. Very, very cool. All right. So, here's the Acreon. Here's the map. See what the ship looks like from the inside. Here's the actual map that the players will be running around on. They can dock here in the aft, or here, or here. 3 places they can dock their ship and start exploring the Acreon. Once they're done exploring this, they will then move on to the drift rock. So it's very cool. So this is all ready to go. I will be shocked if we get this far. Again, sadly I don't stream this one. Airlocks. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. So we are ready to go. I like it. First thing that's going to happen is the mediation. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on with our 2 things. All right, it stopped. Why did it stop? Putting on the finishing touches. Come on, man. Wrap it up here, folks. I think there's a glitch. What is this? Okay, so let's refresh. Here we go. All right. Close enough. He's velcroed to his pocket. Download it. And we follow the same process. We've already got our thing opened here. Go to our downloads. Go here. His name is Ceresi. I keep getting him wrong. What is he? He is Ceresi. All right. Ceresi, Acatonian male. And you go Control X. No. What happened? Okay. And then go Advancing Grounds. Do the same thing we did before. Campaigns. Images. Back to campaigns, to the Thursdays, images. There he is. So now that we've built them, made them and stuff, we need to add them into our story, and then we'll be ready for tonight. So we go here to assets, over here where it says library, assets, refresh folder assets, and I need Ceresi, Captain Ceresi. You then create map record, boom. We can lock it. I'm going to make it unidentified and put his name as Captain Ceresi, so it doesn't have all the weird other stuff. And then we lock it. See, and you can zoom in. See his name, Ceresi. It's pretty cool, pretty well done. I'm impressed. I like it. Close. We can then move this over, open up this. It's the next page, the factional influence. Here it is. The card Scrabble collected makes more personal appeal. She is Joss. Joss. Do the same thing. You click it, create map record. I'm going to switch to unidentified so it shows the players this. Her name is Miss Joss. Lock it. Again, you can zoom in. It's good quality image. I like the background much better. No more wood stuff. It's much more modern. So I like it. You see your name, Miss Joss. Drop it over here. And now that we've changed the name, it shows up as the name we changed it to when we share it to the players. Close everything down. All right, now we're going to open these back up so they're ready to go. As I have on my options, I have restore Windows on start is on. So we have these windows open. So they will be open when I start. And that's it. So I'll be ready to run, ready to go. I'm going to jump into a couple different games here. I might do some Magic the Gathering so I can stream for a little bit longer. I might just do some chatting because I really want to play some Baldur's Gate. And I haven't started that stream yet. I eventually want to do a playthrough of Baldur's Gate because I love Baldur's Gate so much. Not Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate. I like Baldur's Gate 3, but Baldur's Gate is much better. So, gonna take a quick break. I'll be back probably 15 minutes or so with switching it up, doing something else. Thanks for hanging out with me, Atomic. I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here for almost 5 years. And for the rest of you watching on YouTube, thank you for hanging around. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I just remembered I'm actually going to be back in a minute because somebody left a comment and they wanted to know, hey, what extensions are you using when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons? So I'm going to go over that. I'm going to do a quick little video on the extensions I use, where to find them, how to load them, that type of thing, and what works, what doesn't, how to test them. So we'll do a quick how-to on extensions in Dungeons and Dragons. It's gonna be it's the same here for Starfinder. Extensions work the same way no matter what game you're using in Fantasy Grounds. So it'll be all inclusive for both. So appreciate the applause, Atomic. You guys enjoy whatever else you do. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you later, guys.